here from J.C. Massey Field. It's certainly been an exciting 90 minutes of action. But at the end of the day, it's the Rovers coming away with the victory for Will Houghton. Matthew Davison saying so long from J.C. Massey Field, where it's the Scrisopy FC falling to Seafield. We're starting off with the women's game, and then later we'll have the men's game as well at 7 p.m. or at 9 p.m. rather. But Will, take me through the kind of game plan of this one. Obviously, a good game against Pickering FC, and you got an Pro Stars FC squad that certainly hasn't had the best of seasons. 1-13-3, that ranks them second last, but you can't take any games off in this league, as we know. So what's the game plan, do you think, for Simcoe FC as they get into this one against the Pro Stars?
Yeah, you make a great point. All the players in this league are good players, so you can't sleep on anybody. I suspect that Rovers, being the home team and being the favorite, will likely start off somewhat cautiously and try to gauge their opponent and maintain a lot of possession. And as the game begins to unfold in the first. I'm getting a lot of clicking.
And we're just having some technical issues with Will's mic will get him back up and going shortly. But today, drawing the start for Simcoe County Rovers is Alicia Chisholm. She's appeared in 6 games so far this season, appearing in 540 minutes. And of course, that's because their starting goaltender, Yasmin Alexis Jameson, is playing with Team Jamaica. And she actually took on Canada in a couple days ago and went against Janine Becky, who was playing for the Canadian side. Yasmin Jameson, the goalkeeper for Team Jamaica, was on the bench, but she didn't end up drawing the start. But nevertheless, a pretty cool scene, as of course Janine Becky is one of the partial owners of Simcoe FC, and tonight it will be Alicia Chisholm drawing the start once more in goal, as we're just about set to commence here at J.C. Massey Field between the Simcoe County Rovers and the Pro Stars FC.
Yeah, just in the midst of
Yeah. Throw Mag.
No, okay, that's it. Give the ball here.
Yeah, here.
We are getting some relief here with the clouds, but it's going to be a scorcher today, Will. And what would kind of be your mindset going into this one, knowing the conditions ahead of it?
Over.
Well, it is going to be hot for both teams. Obviously, the players are very fit. They train a lot. Fitness may be a factor. As the afternoon wears on, we may see the fitter team, if there is one, making a benefit from that. But for the most part, they have to tough through it as best they can.
Really corner on this near side. And as we mentioned, it's been such a successful season for the Simcoe FC to start this one off. And inaugural season, 10-2-5, 35 points. That ranks them 5th best in the league, and that will be good enough for a playoff spot. A win today secures them a playoff spot, so they'll definitely have a lot to play for in this one. Simcoe FC will, as it's played through the middle of the field. That one's going to go out of bounds again, but certainly all you can ask for if you're Julian de Guzman, who will be joining Will in the second half. But if you're de Guzman, certainly everything you could have dreamt for when you founded this Simcoe FC team, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, the success on and off the pitch, I think, has been really remarkable, and I can't help but think that the ownership group and those involved in the leadership are very pleased Looks like we may have a player down. She's not popping back up as quickly as we might like. Is this a penalty?
And it might be a penalty here.
Well, looks like Rovers have an early penalty kick. Thankfully, the player down was not too injured. She's still walking gingerly. That's Brianne Dessa, number 4.
So great opportunity here for Simcoe County to strike first and open the scoring here. Dessa will line it up. And it will be the opening goal here for Simcoe County. Off the boot of Brianne Dessa, and she has been good so far this season. That's her 6th goal on the year.
That was a very confident penalty kick. The biggest thing for a penalty taker is to be confident and to pick your spot before you strike the ball. And it looks like she had done that very well.
Dessa also scored in their last game against Pickering FC, but a great touch there from Dessa, wasn't it? Now the ball is played into Simcoe FC zone, and they'll look to defend here off the early start from them, as that one's going to go into the corner. But Dessa also scored, as I mentioned, the 6-1 win over Pickering. 6 different goal scorers for Simcoe FC: Ashlyn Coley, Marlene Siwula, Brianne Dessa, Simona Buak, Courtney Chokel, and Abby Rowe all got goals in that one, as the Simcoe County FC look to bring it upfield, but keeping on the attack is the Pro Stars. It's going to be played off a Simcoe FC leg, and will be another corner.
Yeah, our viewers at home may notice that there's been a real evolution in the style of football being played in the last 20 or so years. In decades past, the defenders would likely have tried to clear the zone with a long ball. But now, in order to maintain possession, they try to play out sometimes pretty cutely.
Here's Reese Fowler to initiate action. She sends one in, just out of the reach of all those bodies in front. And now looking to go north is Simcoe FC down this right side. It's being played off a foot, and Simcoe FC will have a throw-in here at the middle part of this pitch. There's going to be a foul there, and keeping with it is Simcoe FC. So going down the early goal if you're the Pro Stars, but I think they've had a lot of possession in the offensive end. Certainly you don't want to give up that penalty to start, but I think if you're the coach in Shabby Bozoski for the Pro Stars, you got to be pretty happy with your first few minutes here. Obviously just with a 1 win on the season, but you're taking a pretty good team and keeping them in the defensive zone. Here's another chance for the Pro Stars to go the other way, but a good defensive effort there by Tia Schaefer.
Yeah, Pro Stars have come out very aggressively. They're obviously wanting to push the pace and take the game to Rovers.
Controlled on this near side now, and Simcoe looking to head north again. That one's just kept in bounds there by number 18, Julia Listro. And now on it is Brianne Dessa, the goal scorer, but she is taken down.
Yeah, that was a lovely strong run from her.
Be aggressive, girls. Step to the ball.
Now on this near side, controlling it is Listro, sending it towards goal, just eluding a person in front. Now here's a chance there, but that was a good leg in front by the Pro Stars defender. That was Sumia Buak with the chance. Now it'll be controlled by Kyra Dickinson, the goaltender, or goalkeeper rather.
Yeah, there was just one slightly heavy touch from Buak there. Otherwise, she might have had a better angle to shoot on goal. Oh, a strong header.
Maybe a bit too strong as the player is still down. on the middle part of the field as a trainer comes on. A medical person will come to attend to the Simcoe FC player, as that one was just played throughout the middle. Two bodies come together, and I don't know if it was the ball or the opponent, but they're looking for any head injury here in the 8th minute. Getting to her feet. That's good to see.
Because there was a stoppage for her injury, she'll just have to step off for a few moments, and then when she's ready to come back on, the referee will wave her on. So this is going to be a drop ball. And the play is live again.
It was Abby Rowe going down on the middle of the field, but she's on the sideline now taking a bit of a drink, and hope to see her back. As it played through neutral part of the pitch here.
Go ahead.
Oh, Rowe comes back in here for Simcoe County. And now Simcoe will look to head north.
She won't have minded having a little drink there. Not on a day like this.
It is a hot one here in Barrie, Ontario.
Oh,
A foul there.
that was a reckless challenge.
The first yellow of the game going to your Pro Stars.
Quite late there from Pro Stars.
That was Michelle Hamilton with the yellow there. So keeping with it as they look to head upfield as Simcoe County, looking to build on this 1-0 advantage, which came off the boot of Brianne Dessa on the penalty earlier in this one, as that one's sent towards goal, and that will just go out of bounds.
A little miscommunication there. Ball was sent in the box, but no one was making a run to the far post. Viewers at home will notice how high up the field Rovers are pressing right now. They're not wanting to give any ground to Pro Stars. They're going to want to win possession back as far up the field as they can.
Nice challenge there, and Simcoe County set back, but only for a moment, as here they come to attack on this near side. This is Marlene Siawula sending it towards that middle part of the goal there, but nothing doing. Here comes Simcoe County again, now down this far side.
Yeah, that's a nice exchange.
Towards goal, and that one was sent in on net nearly there by number 26 in front for Simcoe County. That was Courtney Chokol with a good chance. She has 4 goals on the season, but Kyra Dickinson, the goalkeeper for the Pro Stars, is able to get that one, and she'll send that one down the other end. We'll stay with the Pro Stars here, and Kyra Dickinson, the goalkeeper, has appeared in 13 games this season, 31 goals against, which is an average of 2.7 goals against per game. And here's a ball in towards net, and able to challenge it there is Alicia Chisholm for Simcoe FC.
That was a nice, comfortable grab for her. She'll have been happy to get her hands on the ball this early in the game.
Yeah, as a goaltender, what's it kind of like? You want to get that first few touches in the early start of it, just kind of, you know, get your moorings and
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. To get some touches with your hands or with your feet, you know, in situations that are not too pressured, would be definitely welcomed.
Simcoe FC continuing to go to work on the offensive end, and as mentioned, a win today will clinch them a playoff spot. Top 6 move to the playoffs, and the top 2 in the division will have an automatic bye to the semifinals, and then 3 through 6 rather will have to duke it out in the quarterfinals. So Simcoe FC would be happy to get as many wins as they can as they close out this season. A 21-game season. If they've played 17 games thus far, 10-2-5, and certainly a great inaugural season for them.
It was excellent communication there from the two Rovers defenders.
And now here comes Simcoe FC down this near side. A ball comes back to Marlene Siawula. Plays it near side for another nice little kick along. Julia Listro. Now comes back to Siawula. Pushed back there by the Pro Stars. They'll look to go the other way down this far side. Here comes Simcoe FC. But a good challenge there by Anika Arsenault to push them back.
So far this game, Rovers are really wanting to attack down the right flank and send crosses in from that side.
Here's a ball, and Simcoe FC down another offensive chance, a good save, rebound, and they're able to finish there. That was Courtney Chokol finishing off in front of the net. That's her 5th of the year, and it's 2-0 Simcoe County.
It was really good that the first shot was kept low. When the ball is low like that, it's more difficult for the goalkeeper to contain the rebound. And all she could do was spill it in front of goal and leave it for the oncoming attacker. Rovers will be feeling very confident at this point in the game.
And they're playing with that confidence now as they try to take it through the middle of the field, but they're pushed back here. And here comes the Pro Stars the other way. Dribbling with it is Dana Rugol, and she'll get her ball back, but call it there.
That was just slightly mistimed. She had the right idea to run through, and it was a good through ball, but she just went a little bit early and it was offside.
Find the pocket.
Simcoe FC, often they've played with the lead throughout their season. They've really had good games in all of their tests so far this season. The only really bad game was against Vaughan, but they've been competitive in each and every one of their games here, and now they have the 2-0 advantage over the Pro Stars.
Yeah, having started from scratch as a new franchise this season, their consistency has been really impressive.
Certainly a lot of credit has to go to Zach Wilson and his staff with the women's side, and Jason Beckford and his crew with the men's side. Both are in playoff positions, and certainly the ownership group, which is pretty star-studded, will be happy with the results early in this one. Of course, their founder was Julian de Guzman, along with Peter Reiko and the Barrie Soccer Club. But they've also had partial owners and Daniil Harry and Janine Becky, Atiba Hutchinson, Kyle Laren. Some pretty big names are backing this team, and they're already seeing great results from this squad.
Well, it's so exciting as a soccer fan, not only in Canada but in this area, to see not only the success that the men's and women's national teams have had in the last number of years, the men qualifying for the World Cup this coming fall, the women winning Olympic gold last year, and to see some of the star players in Canada investing in grassroots development in an area like Simcoe County.
Yeah, throughout the season, they've drawn a lot of fans, and certainly the Barrie community and Simcoe County community certainly getting behind this team. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a season ticket holder for the Rovers, and the attendance has been quite consistently good. There's a nice atmosphere here at the field. Youngsters especially really love not only watching the high level of soccer, but the chance to interact with the players a little bit, get some autographs, get some selfies. They're very approachable athletes.
chance there from Dana Rugol. It was 2 goals on the season, but an easy stoppage there for Lisa Chisholm in goal. And yeah, you mentioned the high level that's on display here, and it really is. A lot of these players play for national teams internationally and compete at different universities and youth sports, and some go on to play in the Canadian Premier League on the men's side. And certainly great level of soccer here on display in Simcoe County. So few games left in the season. Certainly come out to support. I believe this might be the final homestand of the season, so maybe next season certainly come out to support these athletes here on display at Georgian College and J.C. Massey Field, which has been a great venue to start off this inaugural season for Simcoe FC. It's a great location and a great pitch for these players to do battle on. Here in the 19th minute, a 2-goal advantage here for the Rovers.
Well, that's a strong turn from Sawula.
Simcoe FC looking to go to work and extend this 2-goal advantage. Now on this right side, a good ball to an open space and rushing onto it, but that's going to be called offside. It's Brianne Dessa racing onto it. Just a ball into an open area, but whistle's going to be blown on that one.
Once again, Rovers were attacking down the right-hand side and hoping to play the ball into the box from there. Looks like the run by the attackers was just a little mistimed.
Now here comes the Pro Stars on the other side, and that one is sent over the gates and out of play there by the team Simcoe FC defender.
One of the little ball retrievers has a trip now. You can really notice the difference in confidence and composure between the two sides so far in the game. When they regain possession in their own end, the Rovers are quite comfortable to play the ball out from the back with short passes, whereas Pro Stars are preferring to send the ball long, which is higher risk.
There's another chance, that one for Megan Murgado, but another offside there for the Pro Stars attack, or the County Rovers attack rather. Correction, that was Sumaya Buak with the chance, number 17 in white for the Rovers. As we approach the 21st minute here, I don't think weather has taken too much of a factor in this one, but certainly as we head on to the later stages of this one, players will certainly be feeling the effects of a hot July evening here in Barrie, Ontario.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of cloud cover the last little while. It's been quite pleasant, a little bit of a breeze. It's still hot and challenging for the players, but it's been a little bit more pleasant.
Certainly a beautiful weekend. I know everyone in the Simcoe County region will be taking full advantage of it. Heading down to the lake or a hike or all of that Simcoe County has to offer. Certainly a beautiful weekend, but we thank you for joining us here for some great football action here at J.C. Massey Field.
It's off me, it's off me.
The Pro Stars look to go attack, finding themselves down 2-0 here, but Will, what do you like? What have you liked from the Pro Stars attack? Maybe to start this one, just the one win on the season, but you know, a lot of the time has been spent in the Simcoe zone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, they're giving it their best go. They're obviously behind the Rovers in the standings, and probably wouldn't be considered favorites for this game by any stretch of the imagination, but they are giving it a go, and when they get the ball, they're being aggressive. And if you can't dominate possession, that's what you have to do. You turn the ball over, you get it back. You have to go forward quickly and aggressively, and that's what they're trying to do.
We'll have a throw in on this near side. And Pro Stars will look to go towards goal. That one played off the head of number 5 in blue, Dana Rugol. Go back for a goal kick.
Yeah, Atwell made a good challenge there and almost created something. Aside in the position of Pro Stars today, is hoping to capitalize on counterattacks and set pieces. And so when they have a corner kick or a free kick in the Rovers half, they'll be looking to get players forward and cause some havoc in front of the goal.
And as we approach the midway point of this first half, we do have a hydration break with, of course, the conditions here at the field being in the evening, not getting any relief from the sun. But we are with those clouds as well, as mentioned, but of course just a few minutes for both teams to reset and cool down, get some water in them, and coaches also will take advantage of this opportunity to go over any tactics. And
coaches won't have a lot of time to discuss that, but certainly they could emphasize 1 or 2 points.
Just about ready for play to resume here at J.C. Massey Field, the home of the Georgian Grizzlies, but also the home of the Simcoe County Rovers FC. As mentioned, the inaugural year for the club.
These hydration breaks represent a real cultural shift in soccer. In years past, there was no such break. Players were expected to continue playing regardless of the conditions, and I think it's very wise for players' health to just take a moment, get some water. We don't want anyone putting themselves at risk.
Certainly, and I remember when the MLS returned and they had those games in Florida in the dead of summer, they implemented those hydration breaks. And certainly soccer, you don't get a whole lot of time to rest. You're running up and down the field, and certainly wise to get the hydration breaks in as Simcoe County FC looks to go to work here in the offensive end. Came back to Tia Schaefer, but it's recalled.
Hero, hold that line.
That was a late challenge there from Pro Stars.
It'll be Julia Listro with a free ball here. Listro sends it towards goal.
Stop watching the play.
Some chances in front, but good hold off there from the Pro Stars. Good positioning in there as Listro sent that ball towards goal, but nothing doing there for Simcoe. They'll get another throw in on this far side. One's played in for Marlene Siawula. Still on it. So Wula trying to send that towards an open area. It's going to be called, though.
She's a very active player. She's playing on the left flank today for the most part, but found herself right in the thick of it over on the right side. Once again, we have a long ball from Pro Stars. Strategy that can really pay off when you connect with one, but pretty risky as well. They've managed to maintain possession well here, though.
You think they're taking that risk because they don't really trust themselves through the neutral part of that field, that they kind of forcing it with those long outlet passes?
Yeah, that's right. They don't seem to have the confidence to play out from the back with the short passes.
Nearly a chance there. That was number 26 in white, Courtney Chokel, rushing onto it. Another ball is played towards Chokel. Oh, and what a save there from the goalkeeper, Kyra Dickinson, as Chokel got a head on it.
Yeah, that was a terrific save. One of the challenges for goalkeepers off of headers is it's not as easy to read the ball and which direction it's going to come. Chokel did a wonderful job of moving off the ball to get a head on that, and she was matched equally by an excellent save from the keeper.
There's a ball towards goal, another head there, but another save there from Kyra Dickinson, who represents St. Kitts and Nevis at the women's national team, and she's appeared in 13 games for this Pro Stars side and 31 goals against in those games. But a couple big saves here to keep this one at a 2-goal advantage for Simcoe FC.
Pro Stars will be a little disappointed to turn the ball over so cheaply there.
Simcoe County looking to head over the halfway line, and they do.
Yeah, Chokel holding the ball up well there.
Comes back for Leistro on this near side. Leistro will play it back. They'll head back to go forward.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Nice touch on there for the onrushing Chokel with the chance. In on goal! And that one's going to sail through the crease.
Another very good save from the keeper. She got down well and got a hand on it. Chokel may wish she'd taken the strike a touch earlier. But overall, a good chance on goal. Another good save from the keeper.
You're right with Dickinson getting her hands on it. Another chance for Simcoe to go towards goal. That one in front for Chokel on it again, but a good defensive effort there by number 27 in blue, Annika Arsenault. And here comes the Pro Stars the other way.
Yeah, she's got to try to find a way to hold that up. She was going 1-on-3.
It was Dana Rugel challenged there by Simcoe FC defenders, and they're going to be pushed back a little bit here. As we'll get another throw-in here at the center line for Simcoe FC as they'll head into the offensive end again. That one played into an open area. Chokel running onto it for Simcoe, but she's doing well to challenge there. She's going to get the ball. Chokel with a great play there.
Yeah, she did well. She really had no right to get that ball.
Deso is on it. She sent that one in, but taken up field here by Dana Rugel on it again. Tried to drop it back. That was going to end up out of bounds there.
A day like this is particularly challenging for the strikers, who are the first line of defense and pressing the team downfield. And so on a hot day, they really burn up a lot of energy chasing down balls. Good overlapping run.
That's Leistro sending it towards an open area and played on there. A good chance. Chloe Udenberg with the chance for the Rovers on that right side with another good ball in there by Siwula.
Yeah, that was an excellent run from Udenberg. She'll be a little disappointed with the heavy touch, I think.
Pro Stars just unable to get anything of substance done on the offensive end. Elisa Chisholm hasn't really been challenged to start this one off, aside from a couple easy stops. And of course, Chisholm is drawing the starts with Yasmin Jameson, who was their goaltender at the start of the season, Simcoe FC's, but she's now with Team Jamaica as they compete overseas. Now here's the Pro Stars looking to head north again, but that ball is just sent into goal there by Sofia Kozmevsky. And Simcoe's able to regroup, and they'll head the other way with it. That ball nearly tried to be played in for Marley Siwula, but a challenge there from number 17, Megan Morgado, and Morgado's going to get the yellow.
Yeah, she's questioning the call, but it was a bit clumsy from her.
It's Morgado's second yellow card of the season. A free kick here for Simcoe FC. Looks like Leistro will be in to take it, or Cooper Lee for Simcoe County. Both will be around the ball.
It's really difficult to put in the ball directly, vertically like this, so I suspect they're going to play it wide and then send the ball into the box from the flank.
It will be Leistro here. Leistro towards goal.
Oh, she's had a go. That was optimistic.
She went after it. That one's going to sail over the net though, but a good effort there from Leistro. Challenge there from Marlene Siwula, who's been all over the ball tonight.
It was a good effort of the defender to get in front of the attacker there. Fortunately, she just couldn't keep the ball in play.
We open up.
Take it, guys. Take it, guys. Come on, come on. Good try, guys.
Here comes Simcoe FC again, coming through the middle here. A good run here from Leistro, and she tried to send it in towards goal. That was Buak, rather. And Simcoe FC will have a corner.
Yeah, she showed a real burst of speed there. I thought she was going to slip it through for her player on the left, but decided to go for goal.
Leistro, ball towards net. Loose in front, and that one will trickle behind the goal and come out for a goal kick.
Brianna, switch with Annika.
A couple good chances. That one free kick for Leistro. And another Leistro corner, but unable to capitalize is Simcoe FC, and Pro Stars will look to go the other way.
The different approaches to possession are just so evident between the two teams on the throw-ins. Rovers are willing to throw the ball in backwards to an open player to keep possession. And Pro Stars are consistently throwing it forward even if they have a more open player backwards.
Here in the 36th minute, we approach halftime here, and we will wonder what the two coaches will go over with their two sides and how tactically the Pro Stars can get back into this game. And look to defend again here as this ball is played along as Simcoe goes to the attack again. It's just out of reach of Chokol. She's on it again. Want to be out of bounds though, and we'll go for a goal kick.
I think one of the things the Pro Stars are going to want to work on for the second half is closing some of the gaps in their defensive line. Rovers have been able to go through a few times, and their coach won't probably be entirely pleased with that. And then the second thing for them is really to get players forward when the ball goes forward. They're really asking a lot of their attacking players to hold the ball up, outnumbered. This is a little better from them.
Ball nearly sent in there for the onrushing number 27, Annika Arsenault, has 3 goals on the season.
That was a really heads-up play from the keeper there to go out and command the box. Lovely nutmeg there from Dessa.
You're certainly right. Simcoe, when they attack on the other end, they have a lot of bodies forward, but on the other side, and I think, does some of the credit need to go to Simcoe FC for being so defensively sound back there, having a lot of bodies, you know, ready to take on the attack of the Pro Stars, or is it, you know, the fault of their other players not getting forward enough?
Well, I think it's a tactical thing. Because the Rovers are playing shorter balls, they're moving up the field in a more methodical way, and it allows them to stay together as a unit more. When you play a long ball, as Pro Stars have tended to do so far this afternoon, you're asking a lot of your attacking players to hold the ball up and allow the defenders and the midfielders to run forward, and they just haven't been able to hold the ball up long enough or successfully enough for the most part.
It's played back to goaltender Elisa Chisholm. She's appeared in 540 minutes for the Simcoe County Rover squad. 6 games played and 8 goals against in those games. As mentioned, with a win today, the Simcoe County FC Rovers will clinch a playoff position. As they look to go the attack again on this far side, rushing onto it. It's going to be played out of bounds though, but stays with Simcoe as they look to head up quickly. One sent towards the front of the goal, but challenged there by the Pro Stars, and they'll look to head up the other way. Dana Rugol passes it along to her teammate.
Yeah, see, Pro Stars are just a little bit slow to get forward there. They were really going about 3 on 5. And if you're going to play the counter-attacking style, the midfielders and even some of the defenders have to take a chance and commit forward a little bit more quickly in a situation like that.
Down 2 goals. Certainly the Pro Stars will look to be more aggressive potentially in the second half. And here's another chance for Simcoe in front. That one nearly getting towards number 26 in white. This is Courtney Chocole.
See, Suola there was able to hold the ball up successfully just for a couple of seconds. And by establishing possession in her place, that just allowed a couple more of the Rovers to get into attacking position.
I'm so sorry.
That ball heading out of bounds and hitting one of our microphones. Nice to see the player apologize, but no apology needed after that ball hit the microphone.
I think she was the player that was booked earlier, so...
Simcoe looking to attack. That one's going to find its way out of bounds. So a few moments left to go in the first half of action here at JC Massey Field in Barrie, Ontario, where it's a 2-0 advantage here for Simcoe FC over the Pro Stars.
Another feature that I think has really been helpful for the Rovers so far today, and no doubt throughout the season, is just their level of competitiveness. Here they are winning 2-0 the last few minutes of the first half, and there was a bit of a hopeless ball running towards the end, Pro Stars end line, and Udenberg was chasing after it as hard as she could. She didn't give up on it at all.
Can you change to that other headset, please, beside you?
Turn!
Now Simcoe on the attack. Siwula tried to feed it there for her teammate in Chokol, who have found each other often tonight in this. As the regular season begins to wind down here for League One Ontario, and we'll be revving up for the playoffs here in the late part of the summer. The final being on Labor Day.
Hey, can we go?
It was one of the few times the Pro Stars have been able to win back possession easily in midfield, but unfortunately they've given it away again.
Can we get off this ball?
Simcoe coming down this right side now, looking to get something going here in the final few moments of the first half. That one's sent towards goal. A good hand there from the goaltender. Another shot towards goal. Loose ball in front. Whistle blows.
Yeah, one of the Rovers attackers got caught offside. Often happens when the ball is bouncing back and forth in a situation like that. Pro Stars definitely will not want to give up another goal before half. That would be devastating for their spirits.
Comes on this near side now for Disa. Sends it towards goal. Eluding everyone though, but another ball there to be played along in front of the net, but able to be held there by Kira Dickinson, the goalkeeper for the Pro Stars. And again, they're looking for that quick counterattack and nothing doing as the Simcoe FC defenders are able to push them back.
That was well shielded there from the Pro Stars. They're really asking a lot of Rigol.
Yeah, often we do see Rigol coming down that far side, but it's a 1-on-3 or often outnumbered, and they're often turned back. I think that's probably a symptom or a consequence of them trying to play so fast, is they don't have a lot of time for more players to get in deep and have some support for a goal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they change their approach a little bit after the halftime talk. Fourth official has just signaled 1 minute of added time in the first half.
So the last few moments here as Simcoe County looks to go back to the attack. But now playing on it is Gia Clark-Jolie. Tried to get her ball back. That one was played by Anika Arsenault. And that will end the first half here at JC Massey Field. So it's a 2-0 advantage here for Simcoe FC over the Pro Stars, and Will, certainly a lot to be happy with if you're Zach Wilson in the Simcoe FC squad.
I think they will. They controlled the play. They scored a couple of goals. They could have had more and weren't really tested in their own end. So they'll be very pleased.
So second half action is coming up, but first we're going to take a quick break. But on the other side, we'll have an interview with a very special guest.
Greg. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan. Onondaga Nation, I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was our first time on grass in a while, and it took a little bit to get going, but once we got going, when we got the ball moving, we really played some good soccer tonight from the whole team and created a lot of chances, and we probably should have had a couple more, but really happy with the girls' effort in a very long season that we've had. Playing one of those midweek games, it's really tough, so I love the effort that they had. They dug in, they pushed through. We could see that some of them were a little bit tired, but they dug in, and they always work for one another. So like, they're always encouraging each other. It's a really, really great team atmosphere that they've created, and that's one of the most things I'm proud about that group is a lot of them didn't know each other. They kind of came together, and it really looks like a team. It looks like a group of individuals that have been together.
Good ball. Hey, good.
They've gelled really well, and Audra's right. We had some pockets of players that have come from the same area, but you know what? They're all high-performing athletes. They want to do well. They want to strive to be the best that they can be, and they will do anything possible to put that success out. And whether that be them sacrificing some playing time or them training extra hard and training to push the other individuals while we're getting ready for games. So you just can't talk. I can't put into words how special this group is. Especially coming together and doing what they've done. And we've got some players that are injured, and people have really stepped up into positions that they're not used to. And you wouldn't notice that if you watch the game. So you got a regular fullback that's playing forward. Ashlyn Cole, he's been playing fullback for us. She's normally a winger. Jess Shears was playing fullback tonight a little bit. So they're all kind of playing out. Leah Foster has played striker for us majority of the year. She's been playing center back at times. So you know what, they're such, like, that's what you want. You want those type of people in your group and that environment, and they'll do anything for the team, and nobody's bigger than the team. Yeah, we've done well. Like, we've competed with the top, the clubs that have established themselves, and that we have obviously our internal goals as a team on what we want. But when we've played, besides the Vaughan game, every team we've played in the top of the table, we've given them a game. And I think the girls have put them on notice that Simcoe, it's not going to be a fun game when you play, and it's going to be tough. And we're going to battle, and we're going to go full 90 against you, and we've done it. We played London, played Nitros. Electric City's been a fantastic game. So any game we've played, Woodbridge recently. So the top of the table, it's our goal. And we want to get into the playoffs, and we want to make a splash when we get in there.
Focus better.
Partner better.
Sleep better.
Breathe better.
Love better. Work better. Friend better. Unwind better.
Everything gets better when you get active.
We are pleased to welcome former Canadian international footballer and co-founder and president of Simcoe County Rovers FC, Julian de Guzman. Julian, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is inaugural season for Simcoe County Rovers. Seems like a really immense task to get a franchise going from the ground up. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how that's been this past year.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of work behind the scenes. We've been able to get ourselves a strong group of people, not just from the ownership part of things where you have Atia Hutchinson, Janine Becky, Daniil Henry, and Kyle Laren as the co-owners, but you also have, Will DeVillis as the president of Barrie Soccer, able to, really build this relationship between the Simcoe County Rovers and the Barrie Soccer Group. Peter Racco, the CEO of Rovers, he's also been absolutely amazing in terms of the business model and being able to be on top of things. So it wasn't an easy thing bringing soccer to a new market that has never really had soccer at this level. But, we've been able to work well with the community, also corporate sponsors to come on board. Georgian Chevy has been absolutely amazing, Barrie Nissan as well. So just to name a few of those, they've been super supportive and throughout the community. Year one has been, positive for us. The objective, obviously, is to make sure that we're operating in the right manner, and we definitely want to expand and extend the partnerships throughout the community and throughout the corporations, but on the field as well. It's been, absolutely amazing putting the group together with Audra Sherman on the women's side as a sporting director. Zach Wilson, the head coach, he's been, doing a great job, and as you see, we're, 45 minutes away from clinching the playoffs in year one for the women's. And on the men's side, Jason Beckford, who has been involved with the men's side, he's been absolutely busy, working hard and working on getting the boys to do the exact same thing as the women's.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems from this viewer's perspective that the season has been a great success both on and off the pitch. What are some things that you and your leadership group are looking forward towards, building on this for year two and forward? Yeah,
the idea is to bring soccer to a new market and raise the awareness, and by doing so, we want to make sure that we have a successful product on the pitch, and that gets us to the interprovincial championships on the women's side. To win the women's League One, we'll be able to play against teams throughout Quebec and BC as well for League One. And then on the men's side, if we do well, and the objective is to make the playoffs, but moving forward, we want to be able to be a championship team as well and bring a trophy back to Barrie. So a lot of those pieces on the field that reflect on what we do out the field as well, and how we carry ourselves on a professional level. And we want to continue to expand and reach out throughout the communities and corporate sponsors in Barrie.
Yeah, fantastic. In the course of your playing career, and now as you moved into the sort of executive side of soccer in Canada, how does this project of a new franchise in a city like Barrie sort of contribute to the bigger picture of the growth of the game in this country? Yeah,
you see in the CPL, they have just 8 teams, but they want to continue to expand, and they'll have in 2023 they'll have a few new teams, but we also want to have the reaches of becoming a professional team, and we want to do that out of the Barrie area. So if we could continue to do that, that's exactly what we want to do, on the field, and by bringing success, hopefully seeing stadiums grow down the road. But these are the baby steps towards that down the road as a long-term goal.
Super. Julian de Guzman, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Focus. Better.
Partner. Better. better.
Sleep better.
Breathe better.
Love better. Work better. Friend better. Unwind better.
Everything gets better when you get active.
Now welcome back to J.C. Massey Field in Barrie, Ontario, where it is a 2-goal advantage for Simcoe County Rovers over the Mississauga Pro Stars, and one more half to play here to clinch the spot in the playoffs for Simcoe FC. It was a dominant first half, Matthew Davison alongside Will Houghton, and for the Pro Stars, there's certainly a lot of areas of improvement for them to try and get back into this one here in the second half, isn't there?
Yeah, they are. Rovers were fairly dominant in the first half, but by the same token, if you're Pro Stars, there are some positives that you can build on. Score is only 2-0, so it's still within reach, which they'll feel good about. And they'll think about a couple of times that they were able to go forward and create some sort of chance, if not a close one. And they'll just want to do more of that and do it a little bit more efficiently in the second half, I would think.
It was a great chat with Julian de Guzman in the first half, or the halftime intermission there, and it was interesting to hear what he had to say about all that this team has brought to the community, as well as the future of soccer, and how this is really a step forward for, you know, building the future generation of stars, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, absolutely. As he touched on, you know, for the first year of a new venture, a new franchise in a city that has not been accustomed to being a League One city, it's been a great success on and off the pitch, and it's not over yet. So we're still hoping for great things for both the men's and the women's sides.
As mentioned, 45 minutes left to go, and Simcoe County FC will be punching their ticket into the playoffs, and they'll want to have a good final half here, as we're just about set for second half action. In goal for the Pro Stars is Kyra Dickinson, and Alicia Chisholm for the Simcoe County Rovers. The sun is out, and it is blaring here in the late afternoon. Certainly a hot one here, as the Pro Stars will look to get something going here, and we often saw the counter-attack from the Pro Stars was often cut off there by Simcoe FC. They've been just so good to keep their chances at bay, and we will have a changing goaltenders for the Pro Stars here, as Kyra Dickinson will head off the pitch, and we'll get you the replacement in there as well. Simcoe County FC attacks down this far side. Trying to make a play on it is Brianne Desa. She's forced back, and will play it back for Abby Rowe. Now good rush here from Schaefer. Schaefer nearly had a good run towards the middle of the field, but they're forced back again. They battle for it.
Yeah, it was a little push in the back from Pro Stars.
Ball will stay with the Simcoe County Rovers. The middle part of the pitch here. Abby Rowe has appeared in 13 games, just under 1,200 minutes for this Simcoe County side. Certainly an important piece as they head towards the playoffs.
Urgency, girls!
No turn.
Man!
Give me double. Give me double.
See on it, Bree.
Simcoe controls now at middle part of the zone.
first couple of minutes so far, Rovers have come out with, again, I think a bit of a competitiveness advantage. Even just there a moment ago here on the near sideline, Dessa not wanting to give anything up after the ball's been turned over quickly.
Now near side, Schaefer. Nice ball on, and Schaefer's going to get the ball back.
Oh, she's got a gap there.
Schaefer with some space. Tried to send it towards goal, but one's going to hit off a defender, and will stay with the Rovers here. Good run there from Schaefer.
It was really a gamble for the Pro Stars defender to go to ground there in her own box. She was fortunate not to give up the penalty.
Shears towards goal, a head on it there. One sent by a defender over the net there, out of harm's way, but just out of the reach of Siwula's head on the header attempt there. Ball will stay with Simcoe County, and they'll attack from the opposite corner. Another ball driven towards the front of the goal, but nothing doing there. Simcoe County FC's win against Pickering, they had the corner advantage at 7-3. Also had 23 shots on target, or 23 shots, 15 of those on target. They were able to get 6 past the Pickering goaltender.
Yeah, that was a dominant performance against Pickering.
6 different goal scorers. That's what really stands out for me, is the balance of the Simcoe FC attack. Is it's just not one player who's putting them behind the goalkeeper. It's a multitude of different attackers on this side, and that's what makes them so dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, they are very balanced. I mean, so far in this game, they have tended to prefer. We have a booking here. So far in this game, they've tended to prefer coming down the right-hand side, but there have been attacks down the left and the middle as well, and it's not so easy for the Pro Stars defending to know exactly where the ball is going to go. As you said, they're balanced and also varied in their attack.
Rowe with a chance on the spot kick here. Rowe sends it towards goal, and that one is put in the back of the net there, and it's a 3-0 advantage for Simcoe County.
For number 26, Courtney, in the 50th minute.
Yeah, that was a very well-timed run by Chokel. Pro Stars would probably like to make that a little bit more difficult for her if they had it to do over again.
Chokel's been all around the ball, dangerous all night, and has 4 goals coming into this one and 8 games played. So 3-0 advantage here is Simcoe County FC will look to wind down the clock, but not before continuing on the attack, but they'll be happy to just wind down the clock and book their ticket to the playoffs. But from what I know about this team is they certainly won't back down and play away from the offense, but you'd expect to see maybe a bit of a more conservative approach if you're Simcoe County FC with the 3-0 advantage. That one is played behind the net for a touch for Elisa Chisholm. And Simcoe County will head the other way.
Yes, here we are talking about the balance of their attack, and they swung the ball quite comfortably from right to left, and we're still able to put the ball into the box in a threatening way.
As far side turning with it is Sumaya Buak. Buak is still on it. Tried to send it towards someone in front, but couldn't. And able to settle down is Brianne Desa. So they rolled offside though.
There's lovely vision there from Desa to keep her head up. It wasn't her first intention, I don't think, but she caught the runner out of the corner of her eye on the left and played a quick ball in. The timing of their interchange was just a little off though, and ran offside.
Ball from the goalkeeper there is going to find its way out of bounds. As audible to keep control of it was Sofia Kuzmetsky. So now the Rovers will have a throw in here at the middle part of the field.
Yeah, the ball sliding under her foot there was just a sign of her feeling like she's under pressure and being rushed a little bit. She's just playing, or being asked to play at a little quicker pace than she'd be comfortable to.
Tia Schaefer for a throw in. And back for Rowe. Rowe trying to slide it in there, but she'll have to pick it back up in there by her goalkeeper, Chisholm.
I don't need it now. Buckets, you're good there, Buckets.
Now here's a chance for the Pro Stars, but able to get her foot on it was Chisholm again, and it's really been the story of the game if you're the Pro Stars, is that counter-attack just unable to get anything of substance really done and challenge Elisa Chisholm. And I'm certainly seeing the story of two different offenses on two different sides. The Pro Stars, which has been challenged all night against Simcoe FC, which have been able to get some good balls in on the opposition's goaltender.
Find it!
Yeah, a moment ago it looked like there was perhaps a foul against Rovers, and the referee decided to play the advantage. I think Pro Stars would have preferred to have the set piece and get some players forward. They weren't able to make the advantage materialize for them.
Check in here is Mackenzie Moore for the Pro Stars. Played in 5 games thus far this season and 190 minutes. Good defense there from number 22 in white. Ashling Coley and Simcoe. Throw in here. Look to go on the attack once more. Ball sent towards the middle of the field, but played out of harm's way for another Simcoe throw in. Here's a chance. Ball in front. And a good save there from the goaltender as that ball was sent in front for Courtney Chokol, and she got a good foot on it, but a good save there from the goaltender.
Yeah, Bulak has been very dangerous today. When she gets a little bit of space in front of her, she just turns on the jets and goes. She was able to play a really nice ball in there for Chokol.
They're forced back, but right on the attack, here comes Simcoe County Rovers again on this far side. Making a nice move on it was number 12 in white. There's Jessica Shears playing it towards goal. That one's gonna go behind the net. That'll be a goal kick. Now we'll get to see Mackenzie Moore check in. Our apologies, that's not Mackenzie Moore. That's number 37 in blue. It's Madeline Dowell Tetro. Mackenzie Moore is number 21 in blue as she checks off.
Yep. On the back, go, double now. Off your foot.
It's not Chisholm on it. Simcoe continuing to dominate the possession here, even more so in the second half. Playing with that 3-goal advantage, certainly giving them a lot of confidence to make those passes. Here's another chance, but a good challenge there from the goaltender. That's Jenna Takahani in goal for the Pro Stars. Jenna Takahani, the 03 birth date. A younger goaltender on this squad. Of course, Kira Dickinson is 10 years older than her. 1993 birthday.
It was an interesting choice to make that substitution at halftime, as I felt Dickinson actually played quite well. May have been some other reason behind the change, perhaps to give the younger goalkeeper some game action.
This one's going to come back to Simcoe goaltender, rather, in Alicia Chisholm. Up on this near side and rushing onto it is number 12, Jessica Shears. It's going to head offside. It will be a throw-in here for the Pro Stars. Trying to go to work quickly here in the 60th minute. 3-goal advantage for the Rovers over the Pro Stars here in League One Ontario action.
So this is better from Pro Stars.
There's a ball sent in towards the goal, but Chisholm is there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't the wisest ball to play in, but that was a little bit better from them. Winning possession well and having just a little bit of composure on the ball.
Just the one win on the season for the Pro Stars, and certainly they want to use these last handful of games to try and finish it on a positive note heading into next season. A good challenge there from the goaltender. That was Takahani on it again, and that's certainly a big difference we've seen between the two goaltenders. Is she's not afraid to come up on that ball and challenge the attack from Simcoe.
Yeah, that was a brave play. In a couple of ways. I mean, it was once she'd come, she really committed to the decision, and so she had to get there, and she wasn't afraid to put her body on the line and win the ball. And that was really a key play from her with Buak charging forward.
That ball is just played over the net by Chokol, so be a ball here for the goaltender and Takahani.
You need support! Leave it. It's out.
One nearly kept in, but will go out.
And perhaps that's a little bit of the trade-off with the younger goalkeeper, is a little bit of a reckless giveaway there on the goal kick.
We've seen that a couple times. Those goal kicks not as sharp as we've seen from Kira Dickinson in the first half, and the attack is just forced back a little bit as those balls we've seen on a couple chances from the net just forced them back. And here's a Another opportunity for Simcoe to go to work, but a good takeaway there by number 28 in blue. That's Gia Clark-Jolie, but that one's going to be taken out of harm's way by Chisholm.
Yeah, that was confident covering by Abby Rowe there. In a position like that, you really need to have a lot of composure as a defender, because the last thing you want to do is make a rash challenge and give away a penalty on a half chance.
When we were talking before the game, we were wondering what this game would be like. Obviously, one team with still something to play for. A win today secures them a spot, and then the other team doesn't have a whole lot to play for. They know where they're going to finish. It's going to be out of the playoffs. They're in second last, just the one win on the season. And it's been interesting to see how these two teams have played one another with completely different storylines and contexts for the two squads.
Yeah, I think you do see that. There have been a couple of instances during the match where I noticed the Pro Stars hang their heads a little bit, maybe give up on a ball just that split second before the Rovers player. When you're out of contention, it can go one of two ways. You can sort of hang your head and play with a little bit less enthusiasm, or sometimes has the opposite effect, and you play quite loosely and confidently. But I think today they've had a little bit of discouragement in their body language at times.
Charlie, come!
And on the other side, it's a really great team that they've been able to put together in their first year. And what I've been so impressed with is just the familiarity that they seem to play with, despite them being a first-year team in their inaugural season. But I think as the season has drawn on, we've seen a lot more cohesiveness with this Simcoe FC group, and that's certainly going to pay off in the playoffs, isn't it? 65th minute here at J.C. Massey Field in Barrie, Ontario. The first of two games here. First up, it's the women. And then the Simcoe FC men's squad will take the pitch. Take on Scrisompi SP, plays in Milton. As we'll get another substitute here for the Pro Stars.
Number 18, Sultana.
And checking in for the Pro Stars is Charlize Lewis, 19-year-old. Certainly want the fresh legs coming in after all this heat that these players have played under. As for the Simcoe FC, Spiridula Vulgaris will check in for them. Number 23 in white.
Well, good afternoon for Brianne Dessa. Nicely earned rest for her.
Of course, she opened the scoring off that penalty kick. Really have set the momentum since then. That opening goal really turned the tides, and it's been all Simcoe FC in this one.
Well, it certainly looks like Rovers are going to clinch their playoff berth this afternoon with a win. And when you get to this point in the season as a team in the position that they are, it's important to not get overly comfortable and sloppy and sort of developing bad habits. And it doesn't look like that Rovers have been threatening to do that. They've kept to their game plan very well. They've been playing with a lot of composure, keeping their shape, moving forwards and backwards.
You're too close, Priscilla. Player.
Inside, Jeff.
And as the season comes to a close, the Rovers will look forward to some of their injuries to check back in for them. The season certainly hasn't been without injuries and players going to play internationally, and hasn't been without, you know, some issues for Zach Wilson and his squad to deal with, but they've been able to battle through that adversity, and it's been impressive to see some of the forwards are playing as fullbacks, and they've done well to kind of mask their injuries that they're playing with here as that ball is sent towards goal. What kind of challenges can that present the coaching staff when you do have those different injuries, especially at fullback, and then you have to transfer some of the forwards into that position as we get a hydration break? What kind of challenge does that present Zach Wilson and his staff?
Sorry, I was just hearing something in my headset. Can you ask that again with the context?
The injury problem with the Rovers, a lot of the positions are having to be kind of fulfilled by players who aren't necessarily comfortable playing in those positions. As an example, some forwards are playing as fullbacks, especially a lot of injuries have been at the fullback position. So what kind of challenges does that present Zach Wilson and his coaching staff when you're missing a lot of players in that room?
Yeah, injuries are a headache in every sport, particularly so in team sports where maybe some adjustments have to be made on the fly. The hope is in the development of young players that as they're coming up and growing in their skills, there's some exposure to playing different positions on the field. So these Rovers players will, for the most part, have through their youth soccer days played different positions. So it is an adjustment, but not out of the realm of possibility. And in fact, they're making it look like a fairly smooth transition this afternoon. And it's often the case that at different levels of football, even at the highest levels, professional and international soccer, that players do from time to time move from defending to striker and back and forth. Some of the skill sets in terms of the physicality required are similar. Winning balls in the air and so on. So the changing of positions is not unheard of soccer, injuries or otherwise. We can see that, for instance, some of our viewers may have been watching some of the men's World Cup qualifying for the national team over the last several months, and see a player like Alphonso Davies, who plays a variety of positions depending on the formation of a given match, sometimes playing left back, as he does for Bayern Munich in Germany, and sometimes playing much more forward up the pitch, and a number of players make similar kinds of moves around the park. So
there's a chance for Reese Fowler with a shot towards goal, just missing that far post though.
It looked like Chisholm would have had it covered had it been on target. It's a pretty hopeful strike, really.
The 72nd minute here at J.C. Massey Field. 20 minutes and extra time to play here for the Simcoe FC to punch their ticket to the playoffs. That ball's gonna head out of bounds for a Pro Stars throw in here. Played in by Sia Chamber. They're battling for it. Are the Pro Stars on it again? Chamber with it, sending it back. Fowler got that opportunity just a moment ago, but here comes Simcoe FC the other way. Trying to go down this far side for the on-rushing Shears. Shears making a nice move. Pass it back for a Tia Schaefer. Ball towards goal. Comes loose for number 11 in white, Chloe Udenberg. Udenberg got still on it. Coach Wilson calling for support in the back, but those Stars are able to pounce on that loose ball momentarily, as here comes Simcoe FC down this right side. Shot towards goal, just went through the crease. That cross inside there for number 26 in white, Courtney Chokel, who, as we've mentioned, has been certainly dangerous in this one.
That was great reading of the game a moment ago from Schaefer, and by her alertness and jumping in front of the pass there, it created not only another chance for Rovers, but now this extended possession again.
That's it, Josh, that's it.
Call that challenge there. That was Gia Clark-Jolie. Now a spot kick here for Simcoe FC. On with it now is Vulgaris. She plays it into the corner. Battled near that sideline, but they're still on it with Schaefer. Gets it back for Vulgaris. Ball was cleared momentarily as number 28 in blue, Clark-Jolie, tries to come upfield with it.
Unfortunately, from the Pro Stars' perspective, they just have not been able to string very many passes together, even when they've done a good job of gaining possession. Either on the first pass or the second or the third, they just seem to give it away a little too cheaply.
That ball's gonna head out of bounds for a throw-in for the Pro Stars.
That was great commitment from Vulgaris to try and get there. Or is this a substitute? Her legs should be relatively fresh compared to some of the others.
Schaefer towards the middle for Coley to play it. Coley is still on it towards goal and scores. What a strike there. Sumaya Buak.
You can put that goal on the end of season highlight reel.
Her fourth of the year, and that's the fourth for Simcoe County. Here with that beautiful strike by Buak.
Yeah, from the build-up play to the strike itself, you're not going to see too many nicer goals than that at any level of soccer.
So a 4-0 advantage now for Simcoe FC as they clinch a playoff position with a win today. It looks like they're en route to doing just that. From start to finish, they've just dominated possession and have done well to limit any chances from the Pro Stars on the other end. So there's another loose ball battle won by Simcoe. Two teams trade the ball in neutral part of the zone. Players taken down there.
You guys come wide? Who's the ball? What do you mean? I don't know. That's okay, let's play.
Toward your, or apologies, Simcoe FC. Look to head upfield now.
We gotta get out of that space!
Referee's gonna blow it there, and now the Pro Stars will have the ball. Look to head towards the other side of the pitch. That ball just out of the reach of anyone, and Simcoe's able to jump on that ball. Final 15 minutes or so in this one. And Simcoe FC will improve to 11-2-5 on the season. Clinch their spot in the playoffs. Pro Stars on the other side will fall to 1-14-3 and remain in the bottom section of that League One Ontario standings. Of course, this is also kind of a first season of sorts. This is their first season back since 2015, the Pro Stars are. Back in 2015, they had a record of 2-3-13 and ranked 7th. As goaltender Jenna Tagakani have a goal kick here. Ball intended here on this near side. Charlie's Lewis. But again, they're forced back.
Yes, Chloe!
Down this far side, trying to make a run with it. Was taken off the ball though. It's going to head out of bounds. Be a throw in there for Simcoe County.
It was a good effort there from Rugol to try to win the ball, or to win the ball back for Pro Stars. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hang on to it for very long.
We'll get a couple of substitutions here. Number 2 in blue will come in. That's Madison Wetham. And coming in for Simcoe County FC is number 15, Georgia Hogan.
Yeah, Chokel's worked very hard and done a lot of chasing today. With the goal scoring, that striker is a very glamorous position, but it's a very hard-working position, having to chase down the ball. Sometimes in some pretty hopeless situations, but you know, you have to run as hard as you can after a lot of balls you know you're not going to get to, and so a well-earned rest for her.
Certainly tiring work, especially in this heat. We're lucky the sun is currently behind some cloud cover, and there's a whole lot of blue sky out there, and at any moment that sun could be back out and beaming right down onto JC Massey Field. We're approaching the 81st minute here.
That last ball wanted to be played through just a little bit earlier from the Rovers midfield. Shears tried to stutter step a couple of times to stay onside, but just wasn't able to. If the ball had been played a second or so earlier, she might have been through.
There's a good header there from number 6 in white, Cooper Lee, to get that attack going, but a whistle will be blown there.
I couldn't see the gap between the runner and the defender there, so it must have been a pretty tight offside.
Now looking to go Going back to the attack is Udenberg. Rowe on it. Sends it for Vulgaris. Back on for Rowe. Now it's Schaefer.
Yeah. Forward.
If there are any young players watching at home, some of these Rovers players are really demonstrating playing well with their heads up. It's not just important to have your head up when the ball gets to your feet, but before it comes to you. And some of them are really demonstrating that well, in the sense that as soon as the ball gets to their feet, they already know what their next move is going to be, which direction they're going to step to, or whether they're going to pass the ball right away.
Certainly.
And that's why they're able to maintain possession so well. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, I was going to say in these final minutes, you know, the score line is what it is, but certainly all these minutes are important as you head into the playoffs and want to grow with that familiarity. So minutes for both these sides to continuing get to work as they close out the season.
Can we switch the point of attack?
Schaefer on it.
Yeah. One more.
Sends it up for number 15 in white, Georgia Hogan, who just checked into the game. Hogan had a chance earlier, and Tagakani was just a little bit too strong in goal as she was aggressive and came out and challenged Hogan. As that shot will go behind the net.
Rovers, sorry, go ahead.
Tagakani will have a goal kick.
Rovers are really getting out of Hogan right now what any team wants out of a substitute, which is to come in with fresh legs and a lot of energy, and really create havoc for the opposing team with the freshness of those legs. Great composure there from Rowe.
Go, Josh,
Another challenge there from Tagakani. And you'll see her send this one in deep, but Canada is controlled so well from the back, and they'll get that ball and just so quickly they'll go back to work on offense. Here's a good chance, though, for the Pro Stars. He's going to head back on goal for Chisholm, and you'll see the difference in their breakout. A lot more confidence as they head upfield compared to the Pro Stars, and a lot more execution on the passes.
Yeah, that said, number 4 Fowler for Pro Stars made a nice composed play there just a moment ago at the other end, and made a nice touch out to the wide right side, and it created a half chance for them.
Now coming in for the Pro Stars will be Gabriela Pisani, and checking off will be number 3 in blue, Sia Chamber, who's appeared in all 17 games for this squad.
There's one where I think Buak would have been better served just to touch that lightly into the gap to the player running on the left, rather than try to use her pace to get through.
Chance through the middle. Simcoe, a ball in, and a shot! Oh, and what a beautiful goal, Jessica Shears.
That's a well-deserved goal from Shears. Lovely one-time finish. She's been quite dominant here on the right flank all afternoon.
And a great setup from Chloe Udenberg.
Yes, it was great vision and great. The biggest challenge on a through ball like that from Udenberg is the pace on the ball. Too lightly, it doesn't get there. Too hard, it scoots past the on-running player. And especially on this very fast turf pitch, waiting a pass like that is a real challenge. But Udenberg did it perfectly there.
So the lead stretches to 5 now for the Rovers. Of course, they had a 5-goal win, a 6-1 win over Pickering FC a few nights ago. They continue their winning ways here, this time at J.C. Massey Field. And we've seen their well-organized, balanced attack go to work again for Zach Wilson's side. And they're certainly clicking in the most important time of the season, which is the latter part of the summer as we head into the playoffs. And certainly a group that you won't want to see in the playoffs. This ball is sent in on again for Shears. Stopping on it, trying to send it towards the middle part of that field, but on it again is Pro Stars, who look to go the other way. Get it back. Good run here by number 14 in blue.
Oh, that's a shame for her.
It's Jasmine Atwall, but it's taken back. Atwall on it again, though. Atwall tried to make a run, but
it was a good challenge a moment ago from the substitute, Lewis.
Now here's a ball to be raced on by Chloe Udenberg. That'll be a corner for Simcoe FC with a few moments left here to play as we're in the 90th minute. Player is down, I believe that is. Get the number there. Getting back to her feet though, that's number 14 in blue.
I think Pro Stars have used all their substitutions, so it was not really an option to bring her off, and so she's going to do her best to carry on. I couldn't see if there was an incident there or if it was just something like a cramp that was giving her trouble for a moment.
Atwell is back on her feet and just about set for this throw-in here. Will be a throw-in from this near sideline. We'll see what the fourth official has to say about extra added minutes here.
We have 2 minutes of added time.
2 additional minutes. 2 additional minutes.
So 2 to play here at J.C. Massey Field, where it was a dominant victory from Simcoe FC in a game where they had the opportunity to book their ticket to the playoffs. They did exactly that with a 5-0 victory over the Pro Stars, who haven't been good this season, yes, but certainly a great effort with a lot to play for from Zach Wilson's side.
Well, there's a very good crowd in attendance this afternoon. The Barrie Soccer Club had a promotion in partnership with the Rovers that all the Youth House League players in the club could get in free today. And bleachers on the opposite side of the field are full, and the fans have been treated to a very enjoyable match.
Chance there for the Pro Stars on the other end as we're winding down in the final moments here.
I'd love to have a look at that again. I think she might, if she had to do that over, I think she might go at goal in that situation.
Let's finish this up, right?
Top of the box.
Be a ball from the corner to be played by Reese Fowler.
Get in there. I want numbers in the box.
They had a couple corners very early on in the first half, and not a lot since then.
Nothing doing there. Be a goal kick from Chisholm, and it should just about do it with the seconds ticking down, and that will do it. So it's Simcoe FC. The Rovers are bound for the playoffs as they defeat the Pro Stars here at J.C. Massey Field by a score of 5-0. They improve on the season to 11-2-5. The Pro Stars won 14-3. From start to finish, a good effort from Zach Wilson's side in the Simcoe FC Rovers, wasn't it, Will?
Yes, I think that they got everything out of this match that they would have hoped for today. Not only did they get the 3 points and the victory to clinch the playoff spot, but good balanced performance from all the players on the pitch. I think they'll be very pleased this evening.
Let's see if we can get back-to-back wins.
Thank you, Brent. Thanks for joining us. Once again, the score was. We'll see you again next time.
So that will do it from J.C. Massey Field in Barrie, Ontario, where it's the Simcoe FC Rovers walking away with a 5-0 win over the Pro Stars. We thank you so much for watching here on Rogers TV. For Matthew Davison and Will Houghton and the rest of our terrific Rogers TV crew, so long from Barrie, Ontario.
Due to the length of the preceding program, we now join the regularly scheduled program already in progress.
From Len Goodhand and
they're fresh.
So they are done. Are they just being worked upon now, or are they
still being worked on?
Yeah, we played them for you with acoustic guitar and violin, and
sneak peek.
Yeah, kind of a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Joni is online, and I think we have 7 songs altogether that are available on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. Yeah.
Cool.
I leaned on my old Chevette, looked up to the sky. I'm headed up north and west to see what I can find. There's pain in leaving, there's hope in the road, so I'm gonna chase the sun and let the highway roll. I'm gonna open my eyes, free my soul. My whole life's behind me now. I didn't pack all my fears. Those days are behind me now. In this rearview mirror, oh, there's something that pulls at me. There's hope in the road, so I'm gonna chase the sun and let the highway roll. I'm gonna you can find me sitting here in Mill Bay. Oh, this beautiful silence now, the tires drone. Wherever I wander to is gonna be my home. Oh, there's life in the moving, there's hope in the road. I'm gonna chase the sun and let the highway roll. I'm gonna open my eyes, free my soul. I'm gonna chase the sun and let the highway roll. I'm gonna open my eyes, free my soul.
And let's give a quick plug for your show too, because you're also doing a great venue for people as well. So
Monday nights at 7 o'clock, Facebook Live. If you go to Ramble On with Rich and join the page, every Monday night I interview a local music person, musician.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being on the show, you guys.
Thank you.
It has been a sheer pleasure, and we finally got to do this once again, and we talk about it forever, but thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media. You're watching Rogers TV, Barrie.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
The following program contains a topic which may not be suitable for young viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Perfectly Queer. If you'll remember from last week, we had the amazing and heart-wrenching story of my buddy Ben Rogers and his experiences with conversion therapy. Ben is back with us again tonight to continue telling us a little bit more about his experiences and telling us, you know, the changes that he's helping to implement to make a difference in people's lives, and how sharing of his own personal experiences is really not only helping but saving lives. So Ben, welcome back to the show. Really happy to have you back on again to continue our interrupted conversation of last week. So let's kick it off. You were talking about some of the trouble you'd gotten into and a few examples of that. And the one word that kept popping into my head as I was listening to you speak was insidious. And the idea of isolation and brainwashing of an individual to get them to the point that they question who they really are and allow someone else to define themselves for them. I can't say enough about the courage that I hear from your story, and certainly knowing where you are now. I know how strong you are, and not just physically strong, but emotionally and mentally strong as well. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your story, and the floor is yours to continue, my friend.
Thank you for having me back. Well, as we left off, I was getting in trouble. Kind of, I am a natural blonde, but doesn't mean I'm in trouble all the time.
That's not what I've heard, but that's a whole other show.
Hey now, those are secrets. So as where I left off, I was in the head pastor's office, and they basically forced me into a confession of something that I didn't even know. Like, I had gone back basically to, before I was even really a part of the church, to something I had done then to basically come up with something that I could say to get them to stop accusing me of something.
Right.
So literally I was like, I was chatting with this guy online type thing, and they're like, you must condemn your sin, blah, blah, like, and like, it became like this, for lack of a better word, a shit show. I remember the visual of this moment still to this day, because I remember it was really freaking nice outside, and you could see the light like from the windows, but you can't see into his office from outside because it's like reflective. But like, I remember a very like visceral memory of like that light and just wanting out of that room. Just I just knowing that where I was in a wrong place, even though I couldn't do anything about it because, well, these people are supposed to be the ones that are right.
Yeah.
The straw that broke the camel's back, however, was the last time I got in trouble. So I ended up finishing a year of the Bible school, which pretty great. Cool. School's always good for you. Except I was learning a lot more about hypocrisy. I was learning a lot more about, a bunch of negative issues that were popping up in kind of the everyday for me. The fact that I can't think of a proper way to put it without potentially insulting someone else. Because to survive, like you said, like brainwashing, like stuff like that, to survive that is a difficult process in and of itself. And it's not that a person can't be smart and still undergo that. It's you give yourself to something because you truly believe in it. It'd be like going to a protest and chaining yourself up to doors for something that you're completely passionate about. It's the same thing that goes on in your mind. You basically chain yourself to the thought process of what they tell you to do. And because that's the supposed to be right path, you keep yourself chained.
Right. And these are the people that you're supposed to be able to trust to help you stay on the right path and make these changes, right?
Exactly. And so the straw that hit the camel's back, I was working at Queen's University, actually, in their cafeteria. I was the ice cream man. Everybody freaking loved me because I always gave better scoops than all the other people that worked there.
I don't doubt it.
Hey, all I got to say is your best person to have behind any food counter is a fat dude. Just putting that out there. We know how to eat.
I can relate.
And so another person that I was actually in school with also worked in this cafeteria, just in a different section than I did. I didn't realize just how much I was being watched during the process that I was a part of this church until this end bit. Because the new schedule had come up, and I'm sure you've worked in a place where you have seniority, right? And people who are a higher seniority can basically steal your shift.
Right.
Well, that's the kind of place it was. And the new schedule went up, and I was looking at my shift, and this girl comes up behind me, and she was a bad attitude type person. We'll just leave it at that. She comes up behind me, and she's like, yeah, I'm taking your Friday shift. I was like, okay, well, did you want to switch or something? And she's like, no, I just want that shift. Just like complete rudeness. And it was just like, okay, well, I need the hours too, like I'm here for a reason. So later when I was signing out, I was with a friend of mine that worked there, and we were signing out, and I was like, she was being a real bitch with that. And that ended up somehow being overheard outside of the office, reported back to the guy I was in church with, and he reported it back to the school, back to the church.
Wow.
I got called into the new dean of the church's office, which is a current mayor in a municipality that I have been working to fight against CT. So people can take that however they choose and write whatever kind of letters they would like, because and so I ended up getting sat down and once again told that what I was done was not appropriate and was not the kind of attitude and dignity that a person of Third Day Worship place almost messed that one up of that church. And I was kicked off my ministry duties for an ungiven amount of time at this point. I was kicked out of school. And I was very specifically told that I was no longer allowed down in the kids' end of the church.
Wow.
Period. That one pissed me off. It's like, it's one thing to, say I'm off my ministry duties, which would include doing kids' church. It's another thing to very specifically tell me that I'm not allowed near the kids' end of the church anymore. Now you've stepped the line. That's, no. And so I definitely questioned that one, and I had issues with the whole process after that, and I left the church. I was like, you have nothing holding me to you anymore. I was living in a closet of a younger couple's from the church. I moved to this younger couple's place partway through the school year, and I was in a bedroom to begin with. Their mother needed to come because they were pregnant and getting ready for a baby. So apparently their mother needed to come live with them. So she got my room, and I was moved into a crawl space closet. Literally, there was enough room for a couch, but that much space, about a foot of space in front of that couch that I could walk in front of. And I had these two shelves at the far end. And if you looked in between that middle shelf and looked to the right, you saw the front steps of the house.
Wow.
I literally lived the gay Harry Potter lifestyle. Talk about living in a closet, right?
Jeez.
So got to go through all that, and I was just done. It was like, no, I'm being treated like absolute crap by the people who are supposed to be, my friends, my family, my leaders, my mentors. What's wrong with this picture? What have I actually done to deserve to be treated like a lesser person? Nothing. I was trying my hardest to do everything I was told, and I was shit on for it. So I was like, all right, I need to move on with my life. I need to figure this out. And basically I did a cutoff. And I cut off everything to do with that church, everything to do with that past bit, just like I was taught. Also not realizing that I was cutting off a good chunk of, the person that I was. Because they had made me block it down and cut off a lot of my creativity, a lot of, my gayness. And it got stuffed into that vault as well. And I spent years basically trying to figure out, what was wrong with me. I delved into drugs as, a source of comfort. I delved into sex as a source of comfort, looking for, that thing that would fill, for lack of better salmon, fill the hole. That
fill the void.
Yes, thank you.
Although I like your analogy too.
I mean, for some reason, a Boston cream donut just popped into my head. Wow. Maybe that should be taken out in editing later. Who knows? But yeah, so I left. I took a general arts and science semester at St. Lawrence. I started basically just moving forward. It was difficult at St. Lawrence because I was in school again with people from the damn church. So I figured out the only way I could to cut myself off from them, and that was to move into, music, try to move into the arts as best I could, try to avoid, the group that they had starting. And I ended up going into student government, found out that apparently I'm really good with people, even though I'm kind of an introvert, which is weird to say. I call myself an antisocial socialite. Probably, weirdly enough, that is the easiest way to describe me.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, for sure.
But I mean, I did a lot of cutting off, and I mean, I ended up moving to Toronto. I lived there. I did photography out in Toronto, did wedding photography for a while. I've done a spectrum of jobs and different things. And I look back now that I actually understand what was going on, and I realized that a lot of what I was doing were all the same things that I was taught and were controlled into my brain from that church. And, I ended up getting diagnosed with HIV 6 years ago, and that changed my life drastically. Initially, I thought I was dead. Then it was, what the hell can I do with this?
Yeah.
And I turned it into something super positive and started affecting change wherever I could. Well, now I ended up with that chance again. Last year, I ended up with a chance to speak out against a church that committed the conversion therapy against me. And so I spoke to the news, and all I wanted was to tell the truth. I couldn't stand to see this church in the media doing the same stuff that they were doing 16, 17 years ago when I was there. To this day, still the same anti-LGBT rhetoric, still the same racial, like, it's disgusting. Like, it irks me. And I became angry. It wasn't fear anymore. It was anger. And it wasn't shame anymore. It was, I'm going to knock you down and take this back. And so, I spoke and I cried. I cried a lot. It's a very emotional story, and it's
absolutely.
I get shaky and talking like this too.
Listen, take your time. I mean, and I think you hit on a very important aspect of what a lot of us have in the spark of our activism and advocacy, whether it be around HIV or anything else we're passionate about. It's that anger and that frustration and that feeling of, what? Enough is enough. Just because it happened to me doesn't mean that it needs to happen to anyone else. If I can affect change to ensure that my story is heard so that others don't have to go through the same crap that I've had to go through, then I'm going to do it. And I feel a responsibility to speak up and talk and share my truth. And I think that's for organizations like this church, that's a scary thing to come up against. The truth, the truth that they preach about and the truth that is the actual truth, two very different things. So yeah,
I mean, weirdly enough, they may have actually got something right. One of their guest speakers that they had come and actually do a prayer thing over all of us, and they basically prophesied over all of us. And he told me that I would one day be speaking in front of nations.
You're getting there.
They weren't entirely wrong. But again, this was a preacher from outside of the church, so I mean, he could have actually been legit.
Right.
But I mean, hey, something good might actually come from it. I'll go with it. But I mean, so with speaking out, that ended up leading to another really great and terrifying opportunity, and that was to be able to speak in front of City Council in Kingston. One of the counselors there, Bridget Doherty, she read my story and basically started doing research and looking into conversion therapy and SOJS. And she was just like, this can't be possible. Like, this is so wrong. And she started the process of getting a motion in place, to which I actually got to speak on. And I told my story in front of City Council, in front of the mayor of Kingston, who also was part of my conversion therapy, whether he was a big part or a small part, he was a part of it.
Wow.
And that's another topic that we could talk for about an hour, and I could tell you some real frustrations with. So I'm just gonna move on from that one. But yeah, I had a chance to speak and let them know and understand that this is more than just wrong. It is torturous, it is harmful, it is destructive, and to allow it is allowing that to happen. And I feel this for every level of government, federal, provincial, municipal. If you are allowing conversion therapy to happen and you have the capabilities to make some form of change to stop it, then you are purposefully allowing it to.
Yeah, if you see something wrong and you allow it to continue, then you're complicit. No question.
Exactly.
No question. Especially something like conversion therapy, where the statistics that I've read anyway is, what is it? A third of folks who have gone through conversion therapy have also attempted to take their own lives. And I'm sure, and I don't know what the percentages of those who have been successful in doing so. So it's not only dangerous and torturous, but it's murderous. It's killing people.
Well, if you think about it, last year's Sex Now survey found roughly 47,000 GBT men. That doesn't include the women, who are guessed to estimate around the same, if not higher, numbers, have gone through some form of conversion therapy or change efforts. That is roughly, I believe it was 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 gay men, basically. And which would mean like probably 1 in 2 to 1 in 3 lesbian or gay women. Those numbers are astounding, because if you think about it, those are the ones that are alive to still tell the story.
Right.
Not the other tens of thousands that have taken their own lives, been killed in the process. I mean, like, if you go back into some of the earlier efforts that they were doing, they literally were beating people, electroshock therapies. Like, when you talk about beating the gay out of someone, there's a reason why that phrase exists. And it's not because of the horrible people that just are anti-gay. It was the people that were trying to change them.
Yeah, it's not figurative, it's literal.
Yeah. And so that was my first chance to really speak to the torture, quite directly, actually, with a person's face right in front of me that it was hard to actually talk that day, because I was literally facing one of the people that caused the harm, essentially. And we ended up getting a motion put forward that is creating a bylaw in Kingston. That bylaw I have actually seen the rough draft of, which literally just makes me explode with happiness.
Awesome.
Why are my comments coming out so dirty on these videos?
Got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
But no, in all seriousness, that's a huge accomplishment to have a bylaw being worked on and, fingers crossed, passed in a city like Kingston, that actually speaks to your experience and will allow for some real change. And I'm guessing the wording is acceptable and proper wording based on your reaction as well, which is something that I think we're hearing different things around some of the wording involved in the federal legislation. What is it, Bill C6 that's been introduced, and some of the definition and terminology around conversion therapy just is a little too loose, for lack of a better word.
That's the easiest way to put it. They're trying to keep it broad for a very particular reason, and that's so it can cover as many people as sort of possible in that broad spectrum. So like on the federal level, I kind of get why they're doing it. Just could they do better? 100%.
Right.
When it comes to this municipal bylaw, they are pulling pieces from the provincial rulings that came out with Bill 77. They're pulling out pieces from other municipal bylaws that have passed throughout other provinces, and using those wordings and those little catches to kind of encompass a little better through the means of licensing. So basically, you would have to have your medical licensing from whatever school of wherever to be able to practice any form of true therapy, counseling, or otherwise.
Right.
And according to Bill 77, that automatically should prohibit conversion therapy. However, under that umbrella, they do try to get away with it by calling it talk therapies and, conversational therapies and things like that. Well, as soon as you add therapy or counseling or anything to it, you automatically just stump yourself, first and foremost. And that's kind of what they're trying to work around. Will that be the be-all, end-all in 2 and 3 months? I don't know. But as of right now, I'm very hopeful and very excited for the way it's looking. It doesn't put the onus on the survivor. It puts the onus on the place that is committing the act, which already surpasses any other thing that I've really seen. I like part of Quebec's law, to be honest, which offers any survivor basically the opportunity to accuse their, culprits. And I just used the wrong word there, but basically gives them the opportunity to accuse and a process to go through so that the survivor can, so I would be able to basically charge my church, like the church that I went through.
Right.
Even though it was 16 years ago, I'd actually be able to go after them for what they did. And I would love to see something like that, but municipality can't do that one.
Right. But I mean, it's progress. And for a field that I think there's probably lacking folks that are really out there pushing this change. I think that's fantastic. And you talked about, not putting the onus on survivors. And I think that's incredibly important, and being able to actually believe survivors and being able to validate their stories. And I think we don't have a whole lot of time left to chat, but I want to make sure that you tell us a little bit about what you are doing to help survivors.
Absolutely. Yes. So I have decided to take, all of the negative and all of, the new energies that I have and switch it over to something amazing. At least in my mind, it is more than amazing.
It is.
In Canada, we have no actual support systems for survivors, which is a really harsh thing to realize with how big our country is, and the fact that, we have Bill 77 in existence, we have other municipal bylaws and different things that are existing, but where are the services that should come with those? They don't exist. So I decided that in a similar structure to how the AIDS service organizations began, to start a support group. Conversion Therapy Survivors Connect, a support group for survivors started by a survivor to develop connections and create what is going to be the first ever support system for survivors. And the supports are going to be developed based on the actual needs of the survivors that come to the support group.
Wow.
And so, I tell you, it's been an adventure going from, literally last year, terrified to even speak out, to the holy crap moment of actually doing it, to getting a bylaw happening, to speaking, and I got to speak to Saskatoon's upcoming bylaw. I'm working with Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge. There's a group that's working there. I believe Thunder Bay or North Bay, one of them anyways. There's some people that are trying to set something up there in a few other cities. So Barrie, I think, would be a great city that should follow some of this lead.
Agreed.
And I'm always happy to offer assistance and a voice to any wonderful person who might want to help push that along. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
No hinting and nudging necessary, my friend. I will do anything in my power to help you spread the word and get the message out. I am absolutely an ally. I am incredibly proud of the work that you have done The survivors group is, I think, essential. The whole idea of it being peer-led too, because we know that, you know, peers talking to peers and lived experience being shared is incredibly powerful. And to be able to do that for other folks, you are a hero, my friend. And I think that's, I don't say that lightly. I think that's a wonderful thing. Your experience, not an easy one to talk about, absolutely. But the idea that you've been able to turn that around and be, as I said before, resilient in what that means, and really be an example of how taking a negative in your life and turning it around, and not only helping yourself in doing that, but in helping so many others. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You should definitely be proud of yourself. I foresee amazing things in your future and in the future of so many others that have had to go through the trauma and torture of conversion therapy. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for sharing your story with us over these last 2 episodes. I appreciate your honesty. I love your humor, and I just, yeah, anything that I can do, and we'll share some of your contact information for folks on the screen who are looking to get in touch and join your groups as well. So thank you so much for being with us, Ben. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you for joining us for another episode of Let's Be Perfectly Queer. Have a good night.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
Focus better.
Partner better.
Sleep better.
Breathe better.
Love better. Work better. Friend better. Unwind better.
Everything gets better when you get active.
This is Rogers TV, Barrie.
You may have seen these staggering numbers. 30 to 40% of all the food that is